Celia and I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I want to thank you for taking the risk to be public servants and living in a fishbowl, because not everyone is willing to do that. You know Sandy Skelton. She babysat me. Her name used to be Sandra Dietrich. I was born right next, after I was born, I lived right next door to her. And we were talking, and she's back in her home now, and she's afraid because it's too dark. And so she needs street lights too, and that's on 9th Street, I think. And since she's willing to serve on that Overlook Committee, or whatever you want to call it, monitoring committee for the 1%, maybe we could help her out a little bit. I'm glad that you're looking at Indian Creek. Make it deeper, make it wider, if that's what it takes. You know, we should have done something a long time ago, because, my word, how many times has it flooded now? I was talking to somebody, this is another subject, I was talking to somebody, oh yeah, his name's Mark Stouffer, you know who I mean, the city historian. He was on the radio, that's where I was talking to him, and we got on the original train depot. I remember when I stood there as a little boy impressed, and then in 1961 when they tore it down, I don't know why, but I really felt bad. And all the plans are in the History Center. All the remains are buried under 4 feet of soil next to Pennington Ford. Somebody, Mark knows where there is an original fireplace. Is there some way that we could incorporate that? Everybody says it's a mistake to tear it down. Is there some way we can incorporate that with the intermodal and that whole scenario that we're trying to do by Green Square, et cetera, et cetera? Last night I attended the Hayes Field scenario. I got to meet 100 of the Southwest tremendous people. They just seem so honest and such good Cedar Rapidians. And I don't think 1 inch of that, what do you want to call it, their heritage, their ancestry should be taken away from those people. In fact, I'm not even sure why Four Oaks is in that building. I think that building that Four Oaks is in would make a good community center. And maybe we should look into that. It's just like when they built the Abbey Center. We had a tremendous ice skating rink at Roosevelt, and they took that away from us. When we had the Silver Skates, that thing was surrounded at least 6 people thick watching the Silver Skates. We wonder why kids aren't doing anything anymore. We've taken so much away from them. We ought to bring back the playgrounds. And so I keep hearing rumors about houses being built, pennies on the dollar, and then being possibly fixed up for nothing and being sold for a profit. That profit, most of it should go back to the original flood victims, unless it's going to go to the flood victims. That kind of bothers me. I grew up on, I keep going to one topic to another, only 5 minutes, what can you expect? I grew up on the Ellis Park golf course, which was a real privilege. I was so dark, you wouldn't even know I was white Caucasian. And I kind of remember seeing that little farm that should be a petting zoo, and that whole area should be a nature center. But when I visualized, because that's such a beautiful area, 81 homes there, it just seemed like an albatross in the middle of something beautiful. And I know you're trying to do something. It just bothers me and many other people, and it's just the way I feel about it, and I can't help it. But I know you're trying, and we're all trying, and that's all we can do, and keep coming up with ideas. The thing that bothers me about Hayes Field is why they didn't go to the people in the first place and ask them, do you want 12 houses here? It would have been so simple. They would have said no. It was unanimous. And then they wouldn't have to go through all this, whatever they did. Just go ask the people. And that would have solved the whole problem. So I don't know how much money they spent, but and I hope they fix up Hayes Field more. And the head of the park
Mr. Seeley, your time has expired.
Okay, I hope they fix it up more.